Hi, everyone. Dorothea Hendriks here, your communication coach in presentation skills and in public speaking. Today, I'm going to talk about a list. Well, two lists, actually. One is that conversation, words that we use in conversation, formally and informally, words that we use in conversation to help a talk, a discussion move forward, and words that we use in conversation that actually stop the talk from moving forward. I did a YouTube video on these two lists, I think maybe a couple of years ago, but something came to mind recently, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do this again because I just finished meeting with a group of people, a lot of ideas going out, and there was a lot of stopping, preventing the ideas from moving forward. So, what can prevent an idea from moving forward? And we all have ideas, and sometimes these ideas are great ideas. We really feel we can do something with them, but sometimes we're not strong enough in our own confidence, in our own belief in ourselves, and then we don't have the resolve to move those ideas forward. And that happens when we don't move them forward and we get crushed, is because people use words like these, the ones I'm going to share with you right now. You've got an idea, you burst out with it, you say it, and the response is, well, the problem with that idea is, or be practical. You're not being practical here. Or you haven't even looked at what are some of the alternatives. You haven't looked at how it's going to impact. Well, I don't see how that can work. I don't see how that can work at all. You really need to look at. You haven't really looked through or checked everything. You're not looking at this correctly. You're not looking at this in the way you should. Oh, we don't have the time for that. That idea is, but we don't have the time. We don't have the money for that. Oh, how could you think of that idea? Oh, we've never done anything like that here. I don't see that working. No, no, not with how we run things. Now, if I had been doing this, if I had had the idea, I think I would have done it differently. I would have done it differently. You should. You really should. Any of those words are words, but we infuse those words which stop the conversation with our tone. And our tone is the message. Our tone actually is the message, even beyond the words. We don't do that here, as opposed to, we could do that here. And so, what are some of the words or phrases that move conversation forward, whether it's informal or formal, but they move the conversation forward? You have an idea, and somebody says, I like that idea. It's interesting. Why don't we explore that a bit further? Let's dive into that. Or, that's great. I think we might be able to do that. I'm glad you brought that up. That's an interesting idea. Let's look at how we can fit that in. Let's look at the budget and the timeline and see what we can do with that. You may be onto something. I haven't thought of that, but that opens the door to other possibilities. Or that's good work. It's an idea I wouldn't have thought of, but good work, good work. Let's see what we can do or where we can go. Let's look at the opportunities. In other words, when you hear those words, and again, they're just words, but the tone is completely different. The tone actually is inviting. Let's hear more. The tone encourages curiosity. The tone encourages further listening. So when you're having a conversation, maybe sharing a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or maybe sitting around the boardroom table, and someone pops up with an idea, with an idea that they, in their thinking, think might work. Do you think it's better to shoot them down? Oh, that's impractical. Can't work here. No, never did it before. Or do you think it might be better to encourage an employee, someone who's part of the company, to actually give more ideas by saying, no, that's interesting. I don't think we've done that before. How do you see that working? Let's look at that. Let's explore that a bit further. Because if we are looking for innovation, and if we're looking for our organizations to grow, to thrive, to prosper, all those wonderful things that we have moving forward to make the money that you feel you could be making, then it means ideas are that you need to put into practice for the future. And we don't know right now what ideas will work until we explore. So listening, exploring, building curiosity. So wrapping up here, which do you think will work more in your favor? If you're one who uses words and language that stops the talk, stops the discussion, or do you think everyone would benefit by using words that encourage the talk, and move the conversation forward? So, hey, I think there is no problem with that. I think it's great that you brought it up. And I think what we should do is explore it further. Until next time, this is Dorothea Hendriks wishing you mountains of success.